This must be the best side. You know, before I get into the music and everything else, at many of these piano recitals, folks have said to me, Paul, you know, it's a nice setup and all, but we can't see your hands, right? So I've been thinking about what to do because the piano can't move. It's built into this structure. So here's my solution. If anyone wants an even better viewing vantage point, you can come on up here. You can sit in the choir loft. These seats are all available, so don't be bashful. If you're a piano affiancado and you want to see aficionado, want to see these hands moving, you can move there too. All right, enough of that. So thank you, one and all, for coming today. I very much appreciate it. This program today is a program of original piano music, pieces I've composed fairly recently. In fact, the oldest piece is just a few years old. And I've been thinking about putting together a fall recital for some time. And at first I thought I'd do a Mozart program, and then I said, well, I should put some of my music in there. And then the more music of mine I put in, the more I wanted to put in, and suddenly Mozart was gone, and it just turned into all of my pieces. But I'm going to start off with, I think, perhaps the most fun piece on the whole program. This is a piece I composed for my daughter, Clara. It's called Clara's Ragtime Dance, and I wrote it a few years ago. I don't know that I would have chosen ragtime for the music for her now, probably more musical theater style, but at the time, ragtime seemed to fit. So this is Clara's piece, Clara's Ragtime Dance. The next piece on the program, in large measure, is the reason that Mozart got the boot. This next piece you're about to hear is a brand new piece. I composed it this fall, September into October. In fact, I was still making changes yesterday and a little bit today as well. It's a new piano sonata, and one of those pieces where I started writing and I figured it would be, 5 minutes. And then 5 minutes turned into 10. And then that turned into 15, and then that was just the first movement, and I had 4 more to go. So all that to say, it's a pretty substantial piece. And I wanted to just say a brief word about the piece, because in your program notes, you probably saw that this piece originally began as a series of etudes. Those of you who may not be familiar with piano music or instrumental music in general, an etude is a study piece, a piece that's meant to teach the performer a particular technique or skill on your instrument. And so, as you hear this piece, you're going to hear each one of these movements really hone in on one particular idea. So the first movement, it's about arpeggios. You'll hear these chords just constantly going up and down, up and down. Later on, you'll hear a movement that's all about improvisation, one that's about repeated chords, and so on and so forth. But I tried to compose these pieces in a way that they contrasted and had a structure from point A to point B like a sonata would. I suppose that's all I want to say about it right now, but if you have any questions about this one after, please let me know. I'll stick around. It is a pretty substantial piece. There'll be a pause in between each movement, but please hold your applause until the end. Thank you. Test. Oh, there we go. There we go. Before I forget to do so, I would like to thank Vanessa and TJ who are running the audio today and for doing the live stream. Thank you very much. Linda and Joanne who are ushering and handing out programs. Thank you so much. And a big thank you to all of you because your donations when we have these concerts go right to our music fund, which helps us hire singers for the choir, bring in brass musicians and other guest musicians for Christmas and Easter, and so on and so forth. So your contributions are very, very much appreciated. So thank you. As I said, there are two more pieces on the program. This next piece, The Night We Knew, as I mentioned in the program, actually I wrote in 2019 thinking it was going to get a live performance in 2020. Well, that didn't happen. But that's okay. We had a little online performance where it was done and folks seemed to like it, so I brought it back for this program. This piece is a very tender, kind of romantic sort of piece. And then we'll close with one more piece that's quite the opposite of that. So here's The Night We Knew, and after that we'll do Lockdown Blues. there's not much to say about this one that's not said in the program. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the program. And again, if anyone has any questions or anything, I'll be around after. So enjoy. Lockdown Blues. Thank you so much once again for coming out today. I really appreciate you supporting music here at the church, and I really appreciate having a live audience to play these pieces for. So thank you, one and all. And I'm here if anyone wants to talk. Oh, it's a question from my mom. Yes, it is. It's in Scotland. Yeah. No. And do you want to know why it's called that? I'll tell you why I what's that? Well, our Scottish expert will tell us, right, Maureen? Yes, exactly. So, no, the pronunciation. Yes. No, the reason it's called that is, as I said at the beginning, I was initially thinking this was going to be a series of etudes. The most famous composer of etudes is probably Chopin, and then Liszt. And I wrote maybe 3 of them, and I knew it wasn't done but I was completely stuck as to what to write. And so I said, well, I know what I'll do. I'll listen to a bunch of Chopin and Liszt, and of course I'll get a great idea. And I had lots of ideas, and all of them were terrible. So, so I remember I was going for a little walk, and I had my earphones in, and I had enough of Chopin and Liszt, and so I put on my favorite new wave band, the Cocteau Twins from Scotland. And oddly enough, I was listening to this piece, and it had this very repetitive rhythm, and that movement is just endless, repetition. And I thought, this song is so good, except it's too repetitive. The chords need to change. And then I thought, well, why don't I fix it and write a piece that has that same kind of rhythm, but constantly changing? And to my ear, when I started playing with it, it sounded like a piece of motion, like you're on a train or you're galloping somewhere. Unfortunately, Grangemouth is a port city, so when I looked at the map, I saw it kind of circles around the city, the train line, but you can't quite get into it. So I don't know if you can really envision taking the train right into the city, but that's the city that the band was formed in, so that's the reference there. So there you go. No. Well, you have these influences, so each of the movements of that piece has influences from all over the place. That unending melody is really an idea of Wagner's. The piece doesn't sound Wagnerian, but I kind of stole that little bit from him. So, any other questions? No? All right. Well, thank you all so very, very much. Thank you. You're welcome.